Name the following compounds. In the first compound, we have sodium, a well-behaved cation, and chlorine, which makes a well-behaved anion. So the sodium is simply called sodium. But as an anion, we change the chlorine to chloride. In the next problem, we have manganese, which is one of the transition metals. So my habit, my tradition, is to leave a parentheses, an empty parentheses after the manganese, so I know to go back and fill in the Roman numeral. The O is oxygen, but as a well-behaved anion, it is simply called oxide. And now I need to figure out the charge on the manganese. So I have just one manganese, so I'll just call it X. I don't know what the charge is, so I'll leave it as an unknown. And I have two of the oxygens, which each have a -2 charge. They're 2 away from the nearest noble gas. And for a stable compound, we need to have this equal to 0. So if I solve for X equals plus 4. So this would be manganese 4 oxide. In the next problem, I have cobalt, also a transition metal. So I'll leave an empty set of parentheses. And the CO3, as a unit, is the polyatomic ion, carbonate. So I have X plus, and the carbonate I know from the table that I was asked to memorize, that it has a charge of -2. So X in this case has to be a +2. So this is cobalt 2 carbonate. And finally, the last problem. If we look at sulfur and fluorine on the periodic table, both of these are nonmetals. And when the compound is completely made of nonmetals, it is a covalent compound. So we name it as sulfur hexafluoride, where the hexa is telling how many fluorides we have in our compound.